Wakanda forever. Yes, Wakanda forever.
And we start. This is Nerdos, episode 16 for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and today we have we're gonna talk our thoughts on the movie Black Panther.
Yeah, spoiler talk.
Yeah, everything. Hopefully,
Yeah, requisite spoiler warning.
Yes.
Are we gonna do like the non-spoiler first?
No,
we're gonna go ham. Yeah.
Yeah,
It has been our week.
So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video. Peace out.
Well, I was telling Alonso, I mean, it's already been out a week. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even really like a review per se. I mean, yeah, we're gonna say how we liked it, but we're gonna talk about everything. What everything spoilers, where it's going possibly, and go from there. So.
yeah. So cheers for you guys, for everybody.
Why is it
New
for
episode.
you guys, man?
Cheers, fellas.
For-
Well, you too,
For
man.
you guys watching this.
My man.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yours doesn't look as clear as ours.
Yep. So
Woo. Hot damn.
God, I don't miss that.
so we finished watching
We saw Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I watched it again last night.
Yeah, I watched it.
twice.
I haven't watched it twice yet.
Had to.
I've only seen it once.
I want to see it twice.
Yes. And your thoughts, guys?
Well,
Just a generic thought.
Yes.
okay.
On the
begin with.
movie.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, man.
I gotta take it.
Sure.
Okay. I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
I shaved my beard. It's not CG.
It wasn't removed.
It's not CG removed.
You did look a little odd in the picture that you
The
said earlier.
first thing we said was a shot at DC.
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
No, I mean, okay. So
A shot at DC. I've seen one of the memes where Thanos is holding the gauntlet with all the Marvel movies of this year, and he's punching Iron Man. He's got just the Aquaman on him.
Oh, that's funny.
Nothing else.
Okay, so did I like it? Yes, I did like the movie.
Did it hold up to the hype?
I don't think it held up to the hype.
You're crazy.
Well, hey man, you do what you say what you want to say.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I did enjoy the movie. I just think that at least from what you get from, and maybe it's not the best source, but looking at Rotten Tomato scores, it's nearly a perfect movie. I just don't think that that's the case. But we'll get into more detail about it. I did
Yes.
enjoy the movie. It's a solid movie. It's a fun movie. It was entertaining. It stands alone, so you don't really have to have seen any of the other movies to really appreciate it.
Yes.
It's really its own story, and I didn't feel like it really did much to set up the next, Infinity War anyway.
Sure it does. I mean,
Maybe a little.
with the one after credit. I mean,
Maybe,
but still. But you
but
don't
it was
have
very-
to have it tied.
But it was very minimal. I think a lot of people have that expectation that everything is going to lead up to that. And yeah, that may be the case, but again, this movie kind of stands alone.
I disagree because the one that's
So-
supposed to lead everything up is Thor Ragnarok when they approach the ship. So I
Right,
mean,
but-
obviously with that,
But again, there's little things about it that people are expecting, and we'll get into that when we get to talking about it. But again, I feel like this is pretty much a standalone movie. So,
I can't-
I
which-
thought it was a solid movie.
which is what I expected. I wasn't really anticipating any sort of tie into the movie other than one of the after credits, which I was waiting for. And then, like I mentioned to you guys,
you could miss the after credits. And
Yeah, and it wouldn't do anything to change the movie. Really.
I granted, but obviously you still want to get that tie in a little bit. That first after credit is pretty awesome, dude. Because I mentioned to you guys in the group text is that with everything that we've got going on, the message is perfect.
Well, yeah, it's
The message
it
was
gets
perfect.
political, but
Sure.
I think we're getting a little far ahead. Let's get give your thoughts on what you thought of the movie as far as whether you liked it or not.
Well, yeah, no. Again, I loved it. To me, it's top two.
Really, top two?
Yeah, because
Goddamn.
I after watching it again last night, and then I started looking at all the different movies. Which of these movies made me feel more emotional? And there was so much time with, how his transition to becoming the king, and again we kind of like joke about it, and people tie it in together with the whole Lion King effect, and I just felt like after Seriously.
It got that vibe. It had that vibe.
Yes.
You see the comparisons, and obviously people make fun of it, but at the end of the day, to me, it was the most emotional of the movies out of all that.
I told Jose about it, and I told him that it kind of reminisced the Lion King, kind of the same thing. But I told him that the Hamlet,
Right.
Lion King is based on Hamlet, and
right.
this is kind of similar to that. So it kind of goes along the same way. Yeah. So what do you thought of the movie?
I don't have a top 2, but I agree with Mo's premise overall. I loved the shit out of this movie. I thought
Watch it again.
that it like he said, it generated a lot of emotion. It was the most socially conscious of the Marvel movies, that's
Right.
for sure.
Well, it definitely had political tones to it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I mean,
and it
it's-
needed to. It needed
right,
to.
because it built a story around the Wakanda's isolationism and all
Right,
that, and we'll get into that
right.
later.
Yeah.
But the acting was outstanding. I thought the supporting cast was one of the best supporting casts
Yeah.
in any of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Outside of my boy Ned from Spider-Man, I can't think of a supporting character I like more than Black Panther's little sister.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that.
Close third would be the dude from Ant-Man.
I already forgot her name.
What's his face?
Oh, the Spanish guy.
The Hispanic dude.
Luis.
But those,
Luis,
I mean,
yeah.
this entire supporting cast in Black Panther, Lupita
yes.
Nyong'o,
Say Lupita Nyong'o was
killed
great.
She was
it,
awesome.
and she was really hot.
the-
dude. I
the-
never really
Yeah, she's
realized.
really
Sheesh.
But yeah, I mean, just to kind of touch on the cast, I mean, so Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa in the Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan
that guy is 40
was
years.
great.
He's 40 years.
Boseman?
Old. Yeah.
Boseman,
He's
really?
40 years old.
He looks
I
young.
had no idea he was that
looks
old.
super
Black don't crack, yo.
Sorry,
True that.
I'm 40
Yeah, it
and
does-
I look like I'm 50.
The lineup is good. The lineup is
You're
good. The-
40
the-
for real?
I'm gonna be 41 in April, man.
You was sexy.
Talking about old people.
Don't look at me like that, man. It makes me feel a little weird.
It's those eyes.
No, but I mean, the supporting
you
cast was great.
colonize me anytime.
Letitia Wright, Shuri, Black
because-
Panther's little
Because
sister.
we
Yeah,
said,
so Shuri,
we
that's
said,
her name.
we
Was
say
very
our
cool.
age on air. That's it. We lost like 15 followers.
Yeah, I know. Right?
But everybody, Killmonger, like you said,
Killmonger was
Michael B.
good.
Jordan was great.
Oh man, it sucks that it's his only movie.
Right, because he won't be back.
I got the feeling they're gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
There's gonna be
so-
some shenanigans with
So
with
That or
Vin
that, or
Diesel.
maybe there's gonna be like some sort of petition to be like, you have to bring this character back.
The
Okay,
Night
now-
King was great, and let's not sleep on Andy Serkis. And
Oh,
I'm gonna
he-
just
oh, no,
say
he
this
was
so I
awesome.
don't forget later. That scene when you had Gollum and Bilbo Baggins.
The Tolkien white guys.
The Tolkien white guys.
Give me that. I mean, I could have taken a whole movie just them two talking
Yeah,
shit to
right.
each other.
It was pretty awesome.
Especially
Yeah,
yeah,
Andy Serkis
started
was
flopping
definitely
around like a
awesome.
ring. That would have been great. I was waiting for Andy Serkis at some point just to work in the word precious somewhere in that scene.
That would have been awesome.
That would be a little,
Yeah, they were all great.
And the score and the soundtrack of that movie were also top notch. I'm
have
not
the
a
album.
Kendrick Lamar fan,
I have
but
the album. It's
he
good
did
album.
he did a really good job with
Yeah.
the soundtrack. The score was great. The way they set the atmosphere and the casting. I mean, Forrest Whitaker as a bit player in a movie.
Well, okay. The only thing that I don't like about that though is that he was a bit player. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been nice for him to have a little bit more of a part in it. Like, he was basically the Yoda.
Yeah, but you didn't want him to steal the movie.
No, I
The
know, I know.
The movie's
No,
not
I-
about
and I-
him.
I understand.
He served
He
his
was
and
the- he
He
was
served
get
his
that.
purpose.
He
Yeah,
was
very
the-
underrated
and a very
character.
big purpose.
A very underrated character in the movie was the dude who played Killmonger's pops.
Okay. Yes.
Sterling K. Brown, awesome job, dude. That guy, anything. I the first time I saw him was in that OJ,
I saw him in that too, and he was very good.
and he
in
was
that.
terrific.
Yeah,
in
he was
that.
very, very good.
I
in
saw
that.
him in one other thing in between
He's
this
in-
and that and Black
he's
He
Panther.
looks
in,
familiar, but I
um,
haven't seen him in anything.
This Is
Or
Us.
I don't remember.
There you go.
I haven't watched the show, but I've heard he's very good.
So peep this out. I've never watched it either, but Super Bowl night, they had like a special episode right after.
That's what I heard too.
And my wife was like, "Oh, let's watch this, whatever." So we were watching it, and he was in it, and it was really like that show was very like. Don't watch
It's
it
very,
if you're
it's
on
very
antidepressants.
emotional. Yeah,
don't
it's very
watch that
emotional.
show. Like
Yes.
If you just went through a breakup, don't watch that.
I hear a lot of people that watch that show is like they always cry all the fucking
Dude, and then they smoked Peter Petrelli, and I was done. I was like, why would you watch this?
Why would you want to watch that show?
Yes,
Like everybody,
it was really heavily emotional.
But I've heard it's really,
But
really
he does a good job in it,
Yeah.
and then he did a kick-ass job in this.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in watching.
What about
this.
the guy that played M'Baku?
Amazing.
I'm looking for his name. Winston Duke.
Amazing.
Winston Duke.
And you know that this is his first big role, which is
Right.
really
This
impressive.
is-
And he was, as it was funny because it was kind of a humorous role, but he was good in it.
He was great.
He
was
he
great.
pulled it off.
And
It was good.
they actually took out his name because actually in the comic book they call him Ape Man.
The
Man-Ape.
The Man-Ape.
Man-Ape. Yeah.
which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
And they took it out because of the connotations and
Yeah,
they don't
of
want
course.
people to take it negative.
I remember when we were watching like the things leading up to the movie. He was one of the first villains that, well, not villain, but one of the first characters that I saw. I was like, oh, this guy's in it, and we were all like, oh, who is he? But I had already heard of him from the comics itself.
Right. So what did you think? So
I loved it.
Ray loved it.
That movie is so good. It's so good. Like, probably I have a couple of things that I don't like about the movie, but overall it's excellent. It's well done. It's well done. Like from beginning to end, it's so good. Cinematography is nice. The music is good. The characters and the people who act on it, they are really on point. And the jokes that they put on the
humor
film,
was
they're
good.
not
The
forced.
humor was good.
They're not very forced, and everything just go very smoothly.
The pacing was dope. Yeah,
yes, it was super good, and we get to see more of Black Panther, something that we have never experienced this character in this level. So, yeah, man, it's
Line of the movie. Don't scare me, colonizer.
That was great.
It's
I
interesting.
should have walked out right there, and I would have been satisfied.
What I was telling Alonso is that I find it interesting that they can take what's basically considered to be a B-list character, and not that Marvel hasn't done that already before.
Well, I think this entire MCU is based on B-list characters.
Well, because
But they
technically for
took
a
the
long time,
chance.
because Iron Man was a B-list character
Correct.
for a long time.
Correct.
I just
So-
said this on Back of the Bus with Half. The only one of these characters that I had any familiarity with in the comic book wise was Hulk. I'd read one Iron Man comic in my life prior to the MCU stuff,
Right.
Which was some
And that's
weird
your,
ass
and
issue,
that's your favorite MCU movie,
right? Which was some weird ass issue where him and Crimson Dynamo, he was in the brain of his brain was in the body of the guy who's Crimson Dynamo and vice versa, whatever. I don't know what happened. I didn't have the second issue.
Well, the point is you've only read one
Yeah.
comic and it
And
ended up being
Hulk was the one that I read the most, and I wasn't really familiar with any of these other people because they didn't have their A-list guys. They didn't have Spidey. They didn't have the X-Men, and they built this universe on the B-list characters.
Well, that's what's cool
this is
about
what
it.
Marvel
Is that they have great characterization and they're pulling it off
But
correctly.
this is what Marvel is doing. Marvel is actually pulling it off really good.
Right.
Marvel is actually taking the chance.
They're setting it up well.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody knew them.
Those aren't B-list guys. That's
and what's
those
funny
D-list.
That's a D-list.
Yeah,
guys.
what's funny about Guardians is I remember we'd be hanging out, with our other buddies, and our boy Freeman he'd be like, "Oh, Marvel's gonna destroy their franchise with this." Seeing the previews, and I was like, "You're crazy, dude! This movie looks incredible."
Nobody thought the Guardians was gonna be such a big hit.
Right.
No,
Nobody
not at all.
thought of that.
Not at all.
I didn't know
Same
anything
thing
about
with
those
Ant-Man.
characters.
So
Right.
there's been.
I was very much looking forward to Ant-Man, though. I really was because
Yeah, you
just
were.
because he was kind of the
But
outside, one of those outside
but
characters.
But again, I mean,
people-
he's like the last guy you think
Yeah,
of.
Yes.
most
Sure.
people going into Guardians thought Guardians was going to be the first flop.
Yes.
Then after Guardians was successful, everybody thought
Ant-Man
will be the next
would be
thing.
the next flop. And now everybody thinks, from what I'm hearing and reading, everybody assumes that Ant-Man and the Wasp is going
It's
to
gonna
be
be next.
I think it looks
I'd be
cool.
surprised.
I think
So
the
why?
trailer looks good.
I'm still just trying to figure out how they'll put that story into the side of Infinity
Well-
War and how Ant-Man is going to be involved in Infinity
But
War.
that's afterward, though, no? Isn't it? It doesn't.
Well, it's
Ant-Man
after
and the Wasp
Infinity
come
War,
later?
but it's not after Infinity Gauntlet. So, I don't think Infinity War is going to
Right.
be conclusive at all. I
No,
guess
no,
is
no.
what
Of
he's
course not,
saying.
because there's going to be a second part to it. But
The question is about the continuity of the timeline, because as I was mentioning to you guys, I watched that one video with this one dude that does the entire timeline through not only the movies but the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show and the Netflix shows and Runaways and all that. He even threw in Silver and Sable, I think, at one point.
you got to send that link, man.
It's on YouTube. I watched it. It's a good like 18-minute video. So then when he throws in Black Panther, it's still about 5 or 6 sequences behind in the timeline, while Ragnarok is the most recent portion of the story.
So Ragnarok, the events of Ragnarok take place after.
It's on there.
After Black Panther. Well, Ragnarok is taking place during everything else. Because as Thor explains in Ragnarok to Bruce Banner, is that
the time,
he's been away from Earth for 2 years and all that good stuff. So within that time frame, you're supposed to have Homecoming, you're supposed to have Black Panther, you're supposed to have all those other events happening along. Obviously, with the release of the storyline, people might get confused, but we know what the chronological order is of everything that's going on.
All right, so let's talk about I want to talk first about the bad things about the movie.
Okay.
The bad things. Okay.
Yeah, what do you?
Okay, so
that's true because there are less bad things than there are good.
I feel like I'm the one that probably rated it the lowest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely.
So
It's because he's racist.
no, dude. Look,
Just kidding.
I did like the movie.
JK.
It just doesn't for me. It doesn't crack my top 5 in the MCU. But anyway,
Really?
no, it doesn't.
Wow.
Like I said, it's a solid movie, and I liked it a lot. But I felt like it was a little bit predictable. A couple of things that I thought were weird were okay. So T'Chaka kills his brother because his brother's doing some underhanded shit.
Well, he kills him because his brother was about to kill him.
Right.
He went after James.
I was getting to that. So he goes after the other guy, so T'Chaka kills him. Okay. Now, I don't know if maybe I missed it or not, but was he aware that his brother had a son?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a purposeful decision to leave him. Because
why?
Because then you have to explain what happened to his brother.
Correct.
But then you leave the kid stranded. I mean, again,
it wasn't
poor choice.
No, stranded because he lives in with his mother.
It is a poor choice as far as what the king does. Absolutely.
Choice. I mean, that storytelling. It was a poor
and
decision
I felt
by
like that was
person,
kind of
absolutely.
weak.
But what I
that
liked
was a little
about that
weak.
is how it turns around T'Challa's perception of how he needs to portray Wakanda to the world.
and I get that. Now, a couple of other little issues that I had with it, and maybe they're minor, but again, this is a reason why I don't feel like it's a perfect film because nothing can really be a perfect film.
I didn't say it was perfect.
No,
it's
I
not
know.
Braveheart.
But okay, so not Justice League level, but I felt like the CG was a little weak at times.
Okay, so yeah.
In what part?
Ask you,
In what part did it have CG?
Okay, so
and Half said the same. I'm gonna get into what Half because I don't have a lot of criticisms for the movie, so I'm gonna bring to you guys what Half said.
Okay,
but go ahead.
Okay, so as far as the CG was concerned, so like one of the scenes that I felt like looked a little weird was the challenge scenes where all the people were like up in like the mountains and stuff, I guess, or whatever. Like they almost looked like the background characters in a Street Fighter game. Like they're just kind of like,
This dude just called them the weird Russian dudes in the Zangief stage.
yeah, like they're just like they just kind of were like in the background and they're just kind of like doing this kind of thing. Like it just looked a little odd, I guess. It wasn't like a big deal, but I felt
You just
like
called it a Street Fighter. He called it a Street Fighter stage.
You are picking nits right now, my dude.
Maybe I am, but it just looked a little weird during the scene.
I don't.
To be honest with you, I was so focused on the actual important part of the scene that I didn't notice.
The only part that I think I have some issues with CG is every time that they do like a fast movement in scene, like they are in the air or
like
moving. So the body moves a little different.
For me, the opening scene was the choppiest one, where he jumps down and he's fighting all those guys because it's so dark and all that. It's moving so quick,
but
and he's throwing the guys
darkness,
around.
I think, kind of sets it off.
Sure, that to me was probably
the thing
the
about
worst.
your thing though is that he's supposed to move weird. Part of what the herb gives him is that.
No, what I'm saying is
I'll give you one
quality of the technology. It doesn't make the movement of the body
okay.
very smooth. They look very fast and a little different.
If you're looking at that pickiness, then there is a scene where, since I watched it again last night, the scene in the casino, which is great. That part where she takes off the wig and she fucking goes with the spear and all that shit. She's awesome, dude. But I'm noticing that Black Panther himself, he's whooping on everybody, and he's like their regular strength. He's punching guys, he's freaking elbowing them, and he's kicking them, and they're just getting knocked down normal. Unlike if it was Captain America. I'm saying, isn't Captain America and him are supposed to be on the same level of strength and all that? Wouldn't he be freaking, if he punches him, he's flying them through the wall and all that crazy shit?
Maybe he's holding back.
Maybe. But
Okay,
I did
so-
notice that. I was like, wait a minute.
All right.
He doesn't seem as strong there. And then he jumps onto the next, to the
the
second
next
floor,
level.
right? And then he climbs,
Right.
and I was like,
Well,
he made it rain.
back to the CG though, and
I
then
want to
like
get this guy's mixtape for sure.
back to the CG though. The other thing that I kind of had a bit of an issue with is like the scenes where Black Panther and was it Golden Jaguar? Is that what we're calling the guy?
Golden
I mean, what is it?
Yeah, that's what Raul called him.
Well, I think a lot of people
I
call him
think
that
that's what- I think
because
that's
the
what his actual
suit,
character
yeah,
is.
because the suit is
I thought
got
it looked
the
more like a leopard. That's what
the
I
suit's
thought.
got the spots.
Look, I'm gonna look it up real quick, but I think that's what the character's actual name is.
Killmonger, but go with Killmonger.
Well, Killmonger.
By the way, there's-
in the Black Panther suit.
Have you
like-
seen a side by side of Killmonger and Vegeta? They're trying to like impersonate one another.
Well, they said that his suit that he used is based on
Is derived from the Saiyan
from
combat
the
suit.
saying, yeah.
Nice.
Well, anyway, they do call him the Golden Jaguar.
Sure.
So anyhow, my issue with that is that like the scenes where they were both fighting each other wearing the suit looked a little like they just looked very CG.
Hey, hold up.
So
sorry,
I feel like
sorry, isn't that illegal to
What's
knee a dude in the face when he's down?
if he's got a hand down, yes. Sorry, we're watching the UFC at the same time as we're talking about this stuff. But yeah, somebody just got kneed in the head. I guess I didn't missed it.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, it looked that looked highly illegal, but that's just me.
So anyway, going back to my point, again, the scenes where they were both together, where they're wearing the suit and like when they're falling and like
Yeah.
they're fighting each other,
Yeah.
like it was just too CG heavy. Like I felt like that could have been just them fighting it out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean,
And again, maybe I am being nitpicky, but I just felt like it looked a
Considering
little
we just
odd.
came off of Justice League where the villain was all CG.
and but that's why I'm saying is like I understand that it's not to that level, but when you have a movie that's this high quality, I feel like they could have done a better job on.
Yeah, nobody portrays Steppenwolf the way Josh Brolin portrays Thanos, right? There's nobody there in like standing
motion
in for
mocap.
yeah
I don't know.
for Steppenwolf. There's nobody there for motion capture.
Not that I
yet.
know of. And then maybe I don't know enough about the character, but I felt like T'Challa didn't really have many flaws, and like he was just so powerful
What are
when
you
he had the
talking about?
suit.
Well, then again, there was the ritual fight. They did take away his powers, and he gets his ass.
But
whooped
like
and-
he's like everybody hates on Superman for being
Right.
Everybody,
Right. Oh,
yeah, I saw it.
That was illegal.
That was mad illegal, yo.
Yeah.
Everybody hates on Superman for being the Boy Scout, but T'Challa was the same.
3 points of the body is in the floor. So
Yeah, you're right. The people were
You know what I
saying
mean?
that
Like,
he
yeah,
was.
Boom.
He seemed like a little soft compared to Civil War, where he was out for revenge.
Right.
I mean,
So-
he's in the transition
so-
of becoming the king and all that.
Well,
the thing is, I should wait till
I actually wasn't totally upset about that
Well,
part
but
of
the
it.
thing is that like literally like with the new suit, what's his weakness? He's got no weaknesses.
Because of the kinetic absorption.
That
and all
shit is disgusting. He's
it is pretty
unstoppable.
badass.
So
But anyway, that's really all the only points I really have to make on it. So anyway, you guys can counter if you like.
no, I don't have much of a counter.
I think that the CG stuff I didn't notice any of the scenes where anybody's pointed out, like half pointed out to me that during the fight on the train rail or whatever. He said the CG there was kind of. I was so captivated by the movie I didn't notice it. So maybe on the second and third watch it'll be a
I
different
got
story.
you. Oh, sorry, and I'm gonna bring something else up later, but this is not really like a flaw in it. It's just more somebody made a weird comparison. But go ahead.
So half said that he wasn't crazy about the movie because he felt it was an African Iron Man 1. That it just followed the same template. You have the guy who is the son who's taking over from the father's company / country, right? Who tries to run things exactly the same way the father did until he realizes that the father wasn't doing it right. You have the Tony's dilemma about his weapons affecting the world. It's kind of like the mirror image, right?
Right.
This guy's dilemma is his weapons. He's trying to keep his weapons from the world.
keeping the vibranium where it should be and not.
And then the bad guy in both cases is like a ghost of their father's past, right? This
Okay.
guy is his dad's partner. this dude is the guy, whatever, blah blah blah.
His cousin.
On that regard, though, like I feel like, I mean, there's superhero movies. They're all gonna have similarities to them. There's gonna be a lot of parallels between a lot of them. I don't think that's a.
Well, the thing
I
is
don't
that
know.
his main point was that he feels that they're positioning Black Panther to be the new centerpiece post Infinity.
Maybe.
Whatever.
And now that you bring that up, and this is just something, and maybe I'm not the first person to have thought of this necessarily, but I was telling Alonso earlier that okay, so in the comics right now, at least as far as I understand, Tony Stark is not Iron Man; it's Riri Williams.
Well, Tony Stark that is dead.
Right. So well,
That's what we think.
So
He's dead.
maybe in the MCU, Shuri would be the one to become Iron Man.
Well, I've heard that in the comics at one point Shuri becomes Black Panther.
Okay.
Who? Suri?
Yeah. I've heard that from a couple of different places.
Okay, but I think that would definitely be way down the line, because if they decide to do like a Black Panther 2, 3, whatever it is, I think they might keep Chadwick Boseman as that character for a while. But given her penchant for technology and so forth, like I think it would be a logical choice to go in that route. You know what I mean? And
I think that would
again,
be
and now this
freaking
is
amazing.
and now this is as far as like thinking down the road,
You know
which
what's
way it
amazing
might
to
go.
me? Well, I'm thinking to myself as you guys are talking that I feel like Infinity War could still be delayed. I feel like all these little freaking side stories should still happen before Infinity War.
How long until Infinity War?
May.
May, baby.
That's it.
That's it. We're there.
We're there.
By the way, I'm buying like 20 tickets that fucking that day. So whoever's going, let's ride.
Damn. You think Infinity War is gonna break every single record out there? Yes.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Absolutely.
Black Panther broke the record for most pre-sold tickets. Infinity War is going to
Annihilate that.
Crush everything.
double it. Whatever
And-
number is
and-
double it.
Obviously, this is an origin movie, but I think it was.
But
I
you
think
know
Black
what?
Panther only fell behind Avengers.
You know what's
in the box office of all the MCU movies.
You
Obviously,
say it's an
Infinity War.
origin movie, but it didn't really feel like that to me.
It is
And
an
then-
origin movie. It's his storyline.
No, I understand, but it's not. It wasn't like he
Is
was.
him
Already, he
becoming
was,
the Black
already, he
Panther.
was already wearing the suit before that.
Well, because
So
his
it's not
dad's
like,
not gonna be the
yes.
Black Panther.
But what I'm getting at is that it's not like you saw him from like little kid to his dad dies and then
Fine.
he becomes the Black
The
Panther and
the
this and that.
solo
Like, it was already
hero film
established.
there.
But what's interesting about it is that again, Marvel, even though they hadn't established him as a character previously, they were able to bring him on and do a standalone movie. Even though he had already been in Civil War, they did the character properly. Why can't DC do the same?
Because they're
You know what I mean?
morons.
They're retarded.
But that's what I'm
they're
saying. It's like
being
how is
run
it?
by
How is
Yes.
it that they don't get it?
Why do you think?
I don't
Because-
understand.
Why do you think Whedon left Batgirl?
Because they don't give the power to the right people who are like Jeff Johns, who's a comic book fan. He's a
Right.
fan of the
Yeah, but
genre.
supposedly he is.
So-
Supposedly he's one of the two-headed monsters that's running DC Studios right now,
Yeah.
and they still can't get it right.
Yeah, but they probably has so many people behind them, executive people that makes choices, because this is what happens on the movies. They change
God damn,
they
that guy
change it
got
all the time.
crushed.
But man, when I read that book that I've been telling you guys
Yes.
about, it's what you're seeing now with the movies is the same shit that happened with the comics, in the 60s
Yeah.
and the 70s. It's
Sorry,
to
what,
your
what
point.
book are you reading again?
It's
to
called
shout it out.
Slugfest. It's by Reed Tucker. It's about the rivalry between Marvel and DC, starting from the comic
just bought
books
that
all the
recently?
way. Yeah, I bought it
And
right
I-
before we went to Chicago.
I think, and later on, on the run, they're gonna get it. DC is gonna get it, but it's gonna
Yeah, dude,
it's
but
gonna
it's
take
gonna be-
him a
It's
few.
too late. I mean, it's not that it's too
There
late.
is-
There's room for
they don't-
them still.
They don't.
but
They don't need to catch up. That's the issue. They don't need to catch up. They
But
just
this-
need to establish it really good.
They just have that mentality that
Yes.
they need to catch up. They
Yes.
should just fucking worry
which is
about their
ridiculous
own shit.
because they have the three most recognizable characters in comics.
Yes.
Granted,
exactly.
right. Not only that, but then they can watch what they're doing and be like, okay, how can we do it better? And they're just, we need to freaking rush it and get this freaking Justice
they're
League
just like
together.
jamming
And
up down your throat.
The problem is they've always had this mentality of we don't want to do exactly what they're doing, but we want to do what they're doing.
Right.
So we're gonna modify it, and then their modification is
Man,
Rhaenys.
I really don't hate Justice League because I liked the fact that it brought everybody together.
Yes.
That's the only reason why.
It's just the storyline sucks.
The story.
It was hot garbage. The
it's-
bad guy was hot garbage.
It was one of those things where it was just cool to see them
What was-
together.
Ben Affleck is
but it
hot
just wasn't
garbage.
cohesive.
What was
I
great-
read
liked
that
most that
I
went
read
after-
that
went
most
after each
people
other.
that has seen the pre-screening of Aquaman, they really like it.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I
that's
think
kind
that
of
one will be pretty good.
that's kind of good.
Yeah. Listen, I thought he was one of the bright
That's
spots
just
in
it. It
Justice
seems-
League.
Okay,
It seems like they're gonna do their origin movies right, while their
So-
franchise bringing together movies are not so good.
because the
Yeah.
Man of Steel was crap.
so this is what I was going to bring up.
Wasn't that bad?
And prior to
Solid,
watching Black Panther, and I think you guys probably, I think I texted you guys these. Excuse me.
Get that thing,
Get the fuck out of here. Somebody had made a comparison, which I always think that this is a poor comparison. People like just throw it out there like it's no big deal, and it really shouldn't be just thrown out there like that. Somebody made a meme or something saying that Eric Killmonger was the best villain since Heath Ledger's Joker.
I saw that right.
And
prior to the-
I just think that that's thrown around very lightly a lot of times.
But I think
Now-
you're misunderstanding the wording. So I don't think it's an inaccurate statement.
Yeah.
They're not saying it's
He
on
was
par
the Joker. Okay.
with Joker.
Maybe-
Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker
He's on another
is
level.
It's another level.
it's like
Nobody will
Tiger
ever reach
Woods circa 1999 2000.
Right. Okay.
There's Tiger, and then there's everybody competing for second place. That performance by Heath Ledger of that character is going to be nearly impossible. It's basically
Dude, the
Joe
guy won an Oscar
DiMaggio's
for it.
56 game hitting streak.
Okay.
It's not happening.
And I
The guy
understand.
won an
I understand what
Oscar
you're saying
for
as far as like the way that it's
But then
worded.
if you start really thinking about the bad guys in the MCU,
yeah, who are you gonna bring closest
who's
to that?
right?
Who
Yeah.
can you compare the
Okay,
closest?
I
still love
understand-
Loki.
and
Sorry,
I understand what you're
I'm
saying.
still with Loki.
Loki's
Loki's
fine.
fine.
But
too.
you know what? There was never a point in any of the movies Loki's been in where I found myself rooting for Loki. And in Black
In
Panther,
Avengers, I was like, bro, I want this guy to take everybody out.
No, I was not. In Black Panther, I was like, I want this
I
dude
was,
to murk
yeah.
all these
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Okay, so I understand
When he
what you're
showed up in
saying.
that
I feel you
cardigan,
with
yo,
that.
I was like, yo, this dude is bowed.
But then
I get
again,
what
as
you're
we know,
saying.
Loki's more of the pawn, all that
Yes.
bullshit. But still,
yeah.
he's my guy.
I get what you're saying as far as like the wording and how like it's stated, but I feel like the even saying that it just pulls up a poor comparison. Like you can't just throw that lightly. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to be like, if you're making that comparison, it's gotta be. And don't get me wrong, Michael B. Jordan was fantastic, but I liked him much better when he wasn't in the suit.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
that's not relevant to the meme, right?
Maybe-
Was he
We
or was
have-
he not the
yes.
most compelling bad guy we've had?
We
in the
have to
MCU?
talk to him in the whole
guess.
complex of the movie.
I suppose.
With the suit, no suit, whatever he did from the beginning to
And
the
here's
end.
the other
Is
thing.
there anyone else?
Is that every other bad guy in the MCU has been saddled with the fact that they're not really the bad guy.
Yeah.
You got this purple dude sitting behind him who's always really
Right,
the
he's
bigger
always
looming threat. He's the White
puppet
Walkers,
master.
right?
He's
Yes.
the puppet master.
So this dude was able to stand on his own. He felt real. He felt threatening. It felt like he could win. And in some cases, like in my case, I felt like he should win.
Right.
You know, that line that he drops when he's dying. First of all, I don't see how they couldn't just take him and get him the beads and fix him and whatever.
Well, but that's because he would
He
rather
didn't want
not.
to.
But
be
that
a slave.
line
That line is amazing.
Yeah, it was a great line.
On money.
money. It's conceptually, it's obviously not the same concept, but on principle, on just ideology,
principality
it's on
of
par.
principality.
It's on par with Joker's point about chaos.
Right.
You know, it's a
Like that.
deep principle that he
Yes, sir.
that he believed in fully, and he had every reason to because he did get abandoned by his people.
Yeah.
Wakanda did choose to protect their natural resource and protect their few over the many of their
Right. Yeah. I
whatever.
mean, that's definitely again. It's an interesting take on the whole isolationism issue
Oppression
and
and all that
and Wakanda first.
yeah,
You know,
Okay,
thing.
so we're talking about the bad things, right? So one of the arguments that people I see make is they don't like that. Oh, well, Killmonger took him out and the whole ritual thing. Well, okay, so Black Panther has a point as he's coming out. He didn't yield. He didn't
Right.
get killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they did bring him back to life out of the coma because of the
Right.
herb or whatever.
It's a technicality.
It's a technicality, but it's still when people are talking about they broke from the Wakandan tradition to not let Killmonger be king.
Yeah, but
this
so
guy
did-
wants to spread out evil to the world.
But Killmonger broke tradition by burning the herbs. So
Granted,
everybody was
and
breaking
there you
tradition
go.
at one point or another.
That too, he burned the herb, all that stuff, and then he wants to use the weapons to. I get it, bring people out of repression, kill. But then he's like, one of the lines, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna kill all the people in power and their children."
Right.
I was like, "Oh shit, that's fucking strong."
Now he's
there,
going
boy.
far.
Now you're going a little farther, so I can see why the family wants to overthrow the guy.
Right. Well, but that's why he takes it to an extreme.
Correct, and that's why people, when they make that argument, they took away the Wakandan tradition of him being a king and left it alone.
Yeah.
No, dude, like the
This
guy
guy-
was
this
evil.
guy
because
is, yeah.
Yeah.
this is go way it goes more than just tradition. It's
Right.
like when a person goes into power, every time we see kings, and this is historic. We see kings go mad, crazy with power, and this is
Nero.
anybody that goes into
Trump.
power gets into something. People who is in the bottom, or people who are just in the lowest part of it, they're always gonna raise their voice to say, "Hey, we don't agree with this."
Here's the thing that's crazy about that argument, to your point.
Yeah,
The country we're living in right now
yeah,
was founded on a violent overthrow of our previous government. What the fuck is anybody talking about?
For real, seriously.
There were hundreds of years of tradition where the people who first
Or
got
now
here,
yeah.
were vassals of a greater empire.
Right.
And they decided that they didn't want to stand for that anymore.
Right.
So what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
yeah. So this movie is great on that because
got
it
so many
brings-
messages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
brings
does.
everything. It
Dude,
brings tradition. It brings all this politics and bring all
And
these
it brings
issues that
intelligent
brings
discussion like
Yes.
this, as
Right.
opposed to, bro, you know what was awesome when the hologram and when Pepper Potts got the suit, which is
It's
brings
the
things
worst.
up.
That's the
Yeah.
worst part of Iron
It
Man.
does bring things up.
When Pepper Potts took
Yeah.
the suit, I was gonna kill myself.
No, it definitely brings things up.
I like it. I like
okay,
this
so-
conversation.
You were gonna say
Well,
something?
yeah.
The-
So
No, go.
Dale.
you had mentioned earlier about how it doesn't really tie in and it's very subtle.
Well, I mean, not that it doesn't tie it in at all.
No.
Because obviously, but it's again, it stands on. It really is a movie that
It
stands on
does,
its own.
absolutely.
You could very well not have seen any of the MCU movies and watch
And
this
understood this
and
movie,
understand
except
exactly
for
what's
who
going
the hell
on.
The white wolf was at the
Right.
end. Shout out to
exactly.
Jon Snow.
So anyway, Dale. White Wolf.
So
White Wolf.
a lot of
I
people
want to
had
talk
beef.
about that part.
We'll get there. A lot of people had beef about there was no mention of the Soul Stone.
Okay, so and I was
Yes.
gonna bring that up.
And I told him
I
about
also
it.
thought it would be brought up,
Well,
but everybody knows. The
I told him
theories that
about it
people are bringing up.
because
Go ahead.
I read
I haven't read any theories. I'll tell you what mine is.
I
I haven't
read-
read any theories.
Okay.
I read
I
the
read a couple
director.
things.
The director. They asked the director that question. And the director told them that. Well, the stone is not in Wakanda. That's plain and simple. He said
just not
he said
there.
it's not there.
It's just
So that's
plain
why
not
they
there.
didn't show it. So
Wow.
yeah.
If that's what the director said, that's what he said.
That just totally
So-
killed my theory.
What did
I'm
you
sure
think?
your theory is
But
the
tell
whole thing
your
about
theory,
the
what you
soul
thought.
stone being part of the vibranium, that it's part of
But the
the
problem
meteor
is,
that
it
hit
doesn't match the color
Africa.
of the stone, though. Everything in vibranium is like purplish. It's got like a purplish huge.
While the
hue,
one that's
sorry.
missing is orange.
Right, it's a
Because
different
there's
color.
already the purple one. The purple one
So
is
if,
in
I mean,
Guardians of the
again, maybe
Galaxy.
it's a minor thing, but
Well, the only thing is that I know that in the trailer for Infinity War,
He already has
we
it. I
see
think no.
Thanos in Wakanda, and we see a big battle scene taking place
is he in
in
Wakanda? Well, we see this battle scene in Wakanda, but is he in Wakanda?
Well, we see a battle scene in. Well, let me rephrase.
Right.
We see
I
a
think
big battle
he's-
scene in
he's a battle scene in
Wakanda. I
Wakanda.
assume somebody's there fighting.
I'm assuming it's going to transition from New York to then Wakanda.
So what I thought was the Soul Stone's there. Thanos is going there to go find it, which is what then creates that battle scene in Wakanda. I could be wrong.
I don't know, or maybe
maybe
it's
they're
not something that's
deceiving
gonna be
us,
saved
too.
until later on.
We don't
I
know.
Maybe
personally
something
think
we'll
the
see
next
later.
stone is in Captain Marvel. That's my take.
Yes.
So you think
I think
that
they're
he's
still
not gonna
holding.
have all of the stones
At the
on
end of this
movie?
one, no, he's not going to have them all. No, I think he's going to have maybe 4.
I think he's gonna.
I don't think he's going to have them all.
I think
No,
he's gonna have
absolutely not.
all of them in the first movie.
What?
I think he's gonna have all of them on
I don't
the
think
first
After
movie.
at the end of the first one.
Yes. At the end of the first one, I think he's gonna have all of them in the power.
I have to disagree there. I think they're gonna hold off.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
place
this
bets.
is what it is. It's just speculations. And
Sure,
this is
exactly.
what we do.
We don't know
it's
anything.
definitely one of those things where we're not exactly sure.
I mean,
We're
because-
looking
because
forward
you
for it.
still have Infinity War. Then you still have Ant-Man and Wasp, however that ties in. Then you still have Captain Marvel.
But
and
again-
then you have Infinity,
well, but-
and then you have Avengers 5.
where in the
Or Avengers
timeline
4,
does
excuse me.
Ant-Man as Wasp fall?
And that's just it, is
We don't know yet.
because that side story is gonna happen on its own, and whatever they're trying to do with their technology, I'm curious to see how Ant-Man is gonna fit into Infinity War. He's probably gonna be
But
very
if you
subtle.
see the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's got to take. Excuse me, it's got to take place at least after Civil War, because.
Oh, so after Civil War, yeah,
Oh,
for
sure.
sure.
all right. So.
But where does it take place before Infinity War?
Well, he
or
even
after
he even
Infinity
mentions
War?
it himself in the trailer. He's like, "Oh, would you have come to help me if I had asked you to
Yeah.
when I went with Cap?"
Right.
Oh, and she also says you've been gone a long time and a lot of shit has happened. So, like, here's the other thing they don't really explain. At the end of Civil War, how long did it take before Cap busted him out of the gulag?
That's exactly what I was going to get at. Is where is it that Robert Lang, what's his name, Scott Lang, he
Lang.
gets out and everybody else gets out, and how is it that in Infinity War they show everybody is free? They're out of the prison.
Well, like, it's just
the only one they
it's
haven't shown in Infinity War is Hawkeye. Go ahead.
It's a question of again, where does that movie fall in? Because if
And
all
the
The thing
these
is, they can solve this really easy. Beginning of Ant-Man and the Wasp, it just says 6 months prior to blank, and
right,
then
but it's one of those things where like again, we won't know until we see the movie because Infinity War is going to be a universe-changing event. So for that to happen before Ant-Man and the Wasp would be really weird.
I forgot who I was
So-
mentioning this to, but that movie has to be at least 3 to 3.5 hours long because you have the end of
What,
Thor.
Infinity War?
Yeah, you have the end of Thor. You have the end of Black Panther. You have the end of Civil War. You have the end of
things they're gonna make Braveheart Part 3.
dude. Every single one of those ending portions of each of the previous movies has to at least be a 15 to 30 minute explanation of what happens
I
to
don't
then
think
bring
they're
it
gonna
all
explain
together.
all of them. But
So then,
They
no,
can.
listen. Of course they can. Every single one of those scenes after the previous movies, if it's 15 to 20 minutes of explaining everything, that's the first hour.
So
then
you
you have
think
an
they're gonna,
hour
you
of
think they're gonna go
madness.
back and flesh out? But they haven't done that in any of the other movies.
yeah, it's
They
gonna be too
have to.
much.
They have. You have to show what happens in between Thor Ragnarok and Infinity
don't
War.
have
You
to.
have to show what happens in between Bucky's.
sometimes they just
loss
leave
of
us
arm-
a blank. Sometimes
No,
they
of
leave
course.
Granted.
They're gonna. There's
or,
some
or at
stuff
least
they're
fill
gonna
in the
hit.
holes. In
Correct.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna
filling
give
the
you
holes
his
is gonna
vibranium
be-
arm, which we all know is coming.
Exactly.
They're gonna give you what happened, how
Happens in the
Thor-
ship. They have to show you what happens between the Thanos getting the stone from the Nova Core. Because they haven't explained that.
Right, no, they
that didn't
haven't.
happen in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So they
Look,
have to
all
explain
we
that.
know
Let
right
me ask
now-
you, I have a
no,
question.
hang on. And I read something about like a big event in the opening of Infinity War. I bet you that the opening scene is going to be him taking the stone
Look,
from the
all
Nova
we know
Corps.
right now is that
When was which movie had the after credit when he goes fine? I'll do it myself.
was it
And he
Guardians?
says, "Fuck you, Joe Boo. I'll do it myself." Oh my god! If you don't know where
I
that's
don't
from,
remember.
you never saw. Oh boy, we need to.
I
We're
don't
gonna have to do a
remember.
watch
Major,
party.
was that Major League? right?
Major League.
Yeah.
You ever saw the movie Major League?
No, I don't remember.
We need to do a NERDOS Major League watch party.
Anyway, okay. Look, all we know from the trailer of Infinity War right now is that he's got the blue and the purple stone. Right.
Right.
So
Which
And then-
which
and
are
then-
which and which?
I can't remember the Power Stone.
Purple's the Power Stone, right? That's the one from Guardians 1.
The Power.
Correct.
And
The blue stone is the Tesseract. And then there's the
Oh,
Mind
and
Stone.
he gets that because Loki gives it to him.
the reality gem.
presumably.
The reality gem. It's
That's-
it's the
the blue's
power
the
and
reality
reality.
gem?
I think blue is reality.
Right, and then the Mind Stone, which is Vision. So those three are for sure.
The
Where's
one
the
that-
red?
the
Ether,
one-
the
the
ether
one
is
that-
Ether.
power.
The one the Doctor
No.
Strange carries.
No.
in the eye.
The Eye of Amagado.
Power of Google.
That's the green one.
That's the time
Exactly.
gem.
That's the time.
That's the
yeah.
time.
That's
gem.
a time gem.
So that's only what 4 right there. Blue, purple,
Time.
yellow, green. The red is the ether,
red-
and now the
the
one that's
ether.
missing is the orange, which
The
is the
orange,
soul gem.
The soul gem. Which
So where is the ether?
I think,
which is with the collector.
You think?
Okay,
you think
so
this,
they need to explain
You think the
that.
soul gem?
Here we go.
What's his face? Adam Warlock has it.
in
the
Guardians 3? Guardians 3 is after Avengers 4, though.
Okay, so this is what we have. The Tesseract is a space stone.
Space, right?
The ether is a reality stone. The orb.
The Guardians one.
Sorry, the Guardians.
Yes,
That's
the orb.
Power
That's
Stone.
the purple
Yeah.
one.
Loki's is the Mind Stone. Loki's scepter is the Mind Stone. The
Correct.
Soul Stone is Vision's.
what?
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
No,
That's the
the
Mind.
scepter is the Mind Stone.
No.
Because that's the one that he puts into Vision's head.
Google got that shit wrong. Alexa.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Hang on, man. Let me find this shit really quick.
Sucks that we have to do research right now.
I know, right?
No, anyway,
Yeah.
No.
So
Go ahead.
what I'm gonna say is this:
Yeah, direct.
we drift away from
Okay.
Black Panther to talk about.
I know, because it leads into it.
okay.
Okay, so sorry.
Because Loki's scepter is the same thing as Vision's
that's what I'm saying.
stone.
Is it?
Yeah.
dude. Remember,
It's the
in
Mind
Age of
Stone.
Ultron, he put, and that's why Age of Ultron is not that bad because it puts that together. So eat a dick.
Eat a dick. The Tesseract is the space stone. The Tesseract is the
You're
cube.
right. Yeah, the scepter was a weapon.
The
that was
ether is the
okay.
reality stone. The orb is the power stone, and Loki's scepter / Vision's
Is the
thing
Mind
is the
Stone.
mind stone.
Okay, yeah, you're right. The Soul Stone is the only one that's not accounted for.
And the time stone, and the time stone is the Eye of Agamotto.
Agamotto.
Which the whole thing about the Soul Stone, even though the colors don't match, is that it's in Wakanda because they're able to go to the the astral plane or whatever. and
Well,
see
I don't.
the
Is it
previous
that?
king.
Is that the astral plane or the ancestral? plane?
Ancestral
I think
plane, whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
The
I
Soul
want to say
Stone is really
ancestral.
the only one that's not accounted for. But anyway,
I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, regardless of the color. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it is that it was part of the media.
Yeah, because you know what?
Wakanda.
The orb was blue, and then the stone inside it was yellow.
No, it's purple. That's the one from Guardians of the
In the-
Galaxy.
I mean, not. I'm sorry, not the orb. Loki's scepter.
Stone, right? The
Was
scepter.
Loki's scepter
Correct.
was blue.
Was blue the entire time, and then when he drops the stone, it's
It was yellow. So I don't think it matters what color the surrounding shit is.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Booyaka
whatever.
shot.
Okay, so now we got into talking about
Infinity
War, but
Well, I mean, it's a natural.
yeah, I
natural
mean, because that's
progression.
really what it leads to. So now, post-credit scenes.
Post-credit scenes. Let's talk about those post-credit. I want to say the first post-credit scene is T'Challa talking to the world and saying they're finally gonna open up to the world.
It's funny that they ask him, okay, so what is a
Third world country gonna do?
Well, what does a country of farmers have to offer the world?
So
Is
here,
that the line? I couldn't make it out.
Yeah.
so here's a nitpick that I have.
Yeah.
Actually, I happened to watch Civil War today.
Nice.
Just I was bored and I had nothing else to watch, so I watched Civil War.
Okay.
Am I the only one still keeping up with the countdown?
Yes.
I'm missing Iron Man 3 in this
Yeah,
one.
I think you are.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, in Civil War, when T'Chaka is addressing the UN before he gets blown to bits, he gives practically the same speech T'Challa gives at the end of this movie.
Good point.
I don't know, I'd have to
Because
go
he never
back
got
and watch
around
it.
to be able to.
He was like,
fulfill that.
Wakanda will join and Wakanda will participate and Wakanda and
point.
die.
Yep.
Okay.
So I just thought that was a little bit of an inconsistency.
That's my kid's words for death. It's plet. They went plet. Plet.
We have the fue.
Got him.
Motherfucker. He did get me.
So I just thought that was a little bit of an inconsistency, but
But inconsistency how? Just because he was doing that versus.
well, because he was already
going in that direction.
He was already talking. If you watch the scene, he's talking about Wakandan technology and vibranium. Like he says, vibranium.
Okay, I gotta go back.
So-
to that.
Right?
So it's just I was like, wait a minute, how is this like a secret? Like this dude told the whole UN on television before he got blown to smithereens.
Before he went plet.
One too many drinks in this room.
Now I can't stop laughing.
So, did he tell you about what fue is? So we're in Chicago.
Sorry, side note.
Side note, yeah.
So we're in Chicago,
Ridiculous side
and we're in the hotel room, and
watching the Olympics.
and we're watching the Olympics, and the girls are getting ready or whatever, and we're all pre-gaming, and we see this shit happening where these people are jumping. Don't say what it is yet.
Okay, good.
So they're jumping fucking in the air, and they're doing this weird
The
pose.
ski jump.
And we're like, we had no idea what this event was called. And one of us just goes, dude, you know, that's the fue. And that's just what it was called. So that event no longer is called ski jump.
And from there, we're all trying to figure out how to spell
Fue.
it.
Yeah, and then this fool is putting silent
Jeez. In Fue. We're like, what is your Navajo?
It sounded
ass
French, It sounded, the Fue sounds French to me,
He
man.
spelled it PHEWGH.
WG.
I'm like, what is that?
What?
Oh my god! I don't think anybody's gonna understand what the fuck we're talking about right now.
That's the sound. That's the sound that you make when you hit the floor. I think you're like.
For the record, it's FWEH. Fue.
Anyway, nobody's gonna understand
Got
what you
him.
just said.
And we're talking about how like we would be acting a fool if we were like, there's no way
Actually
we could
doing
do these
the
events because I'd be floating in the air like that and I'd be like,
Did you by any chance see that one meme that somebody said that they should have like a regular person in the Olympics doing the event for a point of reference?
But they did that.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. That
Oh
happened.
yes, that did happen in like a bob, no, not a bobsled.
In one of the ski events.
Yes,
the,
it did.
the half pipe you talking about?
Yeah, some shit.
Yeah.
This one lady.
ski half
Yeah,
pipe.
she just did like the bare minimum.
Yeah, because
Hey
she's
man,
not
she's
like.
like, you made it though.
and so I went back and I read, and it was because like the qualifiers for all those events are like bullshit. You just have to end up in the top 30.
It had to do something with the fact that they just didn't have enough competitors in her
Event.
country for the event, so she just had to do the bare minimum. Just
But not
like
even
they
in her
said.
country. She was going and she was becoming a resident in other countries,
Right.
To compete in that country. She's
Shit,
American.
We should totally fucking do that.
Oh my fuck!
We'd be in the Olympics.
Fue. Give me my Fue shoes, yo.
All right,
Give
so
my Nike
should we
shoes.
get back to the point?
Okay, so Black
let's get back to
Panther.
Black Panther.
So
Back to the Black Panther.
Sorry, we deviate a little bit. we always get into a tangent and that.
We've had way too much to drink.
It was good. It was good.
So that post credit scene I thought was very
Little
powerful though. In
side-
all seriousness,
Yeah, no,
when he's
man,
talking
yeah.
about building bridges instead of barriers or whatever, I thought it was like a
Fools build
straight
barriers.
shout out, like go
Yeah,
MAGA
go
yourself.
your dick. Exactly.
Make Wakanda great again.
Yeah.
My man.
So I thought it was awesome, man. And you know, again, I think this is the most socially conscious of the Marvel
I
movies.
like
Yes.
his little smirk at the end. Like he was like,
Got him.
"Yeah, I got you."
Like he was might as well have just been like,
Eat a dick.
What do you guys thought of the big controversy about people like white people telling that don't watch the Black Panther movie?
I ignore that.
Have you
stuff.
have you?
that's
se-
so-
have-
I
have
read
you
it. I
you
saw
read about
that one lady who was like, "When is it
Yes.
safe to go?"
Yeah, when is
I
it
think
safe
that's so
to go?
sad.
But you know what was awesome? I pointed this shit out to Mo when we were watching it. In the row right in front of us to our right, there was these three old ass white folk
Yes.
sitting there watching the
Right.
movie and enjoying the shit out of it. You,
But it's
you
just-
don't-
it's
oh,
just
no,
such
you
a-
weren't sitting
Why-
next to me. I pointed it out to
I'm like,
Mao.
and you know what? Why do you even think of that?
But it's just- it's a-
that's
it's
the
a-
issue.
but
It's
again,
like
it's a
just
sad
go and
thing
watch
to
it.
say that
It's-
people are actually thinking that.
because
like,
it's the-
is it okay for me
And
to
not only
watch
that,
this movie?
but it's stupid because if
It's
you
the
really,
stereotypical
if you-
type of bullshit.
But if you really are a white
It's so
person
silly, man.
who
Yes.
wants to support Black Panther,
Or anything.
you're gonna go watch it. You're not gonna not go watch it. You're gonna go
Yes.
watch it so
Or
you can help
anything,
it up
Whether
and
it's
hype
the
it out
first
and
day
whatever.
or whenever.
It's-
Yeah, it is a little silly that
Dude, it's
somebody's
very
like, oh, when is it the
simple.
right
It doesn't
time?
matter what color you are. If you just like something,
It's a movie to
It's
go and
very
enjoy.
simple.
It's a
You
movie to go
understand?
and watch.
They
and
have
fun
had
with.
the global white folk
That's racist.
have had a hegemony on everything for so long.
Right.
Everything is Anglo-centric.
Yeah.
So anything that isn't that way feels threatening.
The sheriff.
So
The sheriffs need to be Anglo
yeah,
protected.
so it becomes an issue where they need to make it about themselves when it's not about you.
Yeah.
If you want to go see the movie, go see the movie. If you don't want to go see the movie, go sit on a fucking dildo and go fuck yourself.
I came
But it's so
came across
stupid,
one.
man.
I
Like-
But
ca-
you don't. If you don't want to see it or support it, just
came across one.
just
I,
keep it to yourself and don't go. You know?
I
That's
came
it.
across one that was like,
the
oh,
hell?
what if there was a KKK man superhero movie? What would people think of? What? It's not the same fucking shit. You dumb fuck.
It's a silly thing. It's again at this day and age, it really is a silly thing to have to ask. And whether it's a superhero movie or a comedy or
Yeah,
this
or
and
it's
that,
anything, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to label it as black or white. It's a movie to go out and enjoy. Like you wouldn't say the same thing like when Friday came out. Like, is it okay for me to go watch Friday?
Right.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't say the same thing. You know, I mean, It's
You're
just
talking
it's
about
a
two different type of movies.
no. I understand that, but what I'm saying is like, you know, I mean, Friday is a black movie.
Yeah, it's a black dude. It's a black person.
Black
Yeah,
people.
it is.
Yeah, but it's
I
not.
love the movie.
But it's not a major franchise.
You're right, but you don't
And
see
it's not
people
a. It's not a
questioning-
200. It wasn't filmed on a $200 million budget.
I
See,
suppose.
this
No,
all
and,
comes
and
down to
I mean,
money.
I can't make that comparison necessarily. But what I mean is, like, you wouldn't ask if it's okay to go see that movie either. You know what I mean? So what's the difference in that
But again,
regard?
the problem was that the narrative of the movie became this is going to be an all-black movie that
Right.
smashed all kinds of sales records.
Right.
The pre-sales record, the opening weekend records, had the
And-
fifth biggest
and
opening
the
of any
big-
movie
the-
ever.
the most,
and the big thing that had it is that because it's gonna be this big superhero and he's a black guy,
So-
and that's the
Big-
whole thing.
But,
biggest-
but what about Blade?
Blade
that-
didn't
that
make
is
this
a-
kind of
because-
money.
that is
Because
a-
Blade is an African origin movie.
Yes.
But it's not only that, but Blade didn't make $500 million. This just already made $520
Yeah,
worldwide.
no, I know that. I
Is that what it
understand
is?
that.
520 worldwide already. It's
I
only
knew
been
it
a
was.
week, G.
I knew it was about 300 for the weekend.
It was 240 for the U.S.
Domestic.
domestic.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
domestic.
Okay, and it's 520 worldwide. We're
Man,
talking
it's
about this is white people territory. This is white people movies.
Yeah.
And there's a black dude who directed it with a majorly
I
black
was,
cast.
I was gonna say a black director,
And a
highest
black
grossing
dude doing
director
the
of all
soundtrack.
time.
One white guy in it. No, actually, sorry,
No,
two white
there's a
guys.
few. There's Andy Serkis. There's Bilbo.
And
I
there's
never know his
Bucky-
name.
Bucky
Oh,
at the end.
Martin Freeman.
Martin
no.
Freeman. Martin
And then
Freeman.
there's Andy Serkis's drivers and his henchmen and shit. There are a couple.
Well,
white guys
but
there.
okay,
I
but
saw-
major actors, it's two white guys. Everybody else
Sure,
is
of course.
So
I was surprised they killed off Claw that quick.
Yeah, I was kind of
everybody, I think it was
I
like,
wish they had kept him
why
around
they
a little
even
longer.
bring him? Finally, we see the arm, and
They
that's
hype
it.
him up so much. Exactly.
But then
They
you
never
can make the
answered,
same.
right? Who
I
made
bet you his.
arm?
No, but
Who
it's
made his
Wakanda-
arm?
It's Wakanda
No, but it's
technology,
Wakanda.
though, isn't it?
They're gonna put his arm on Bucky. No, I'm kidding.
On Bucky.
Well, you know it's silver, obviously.
Oh, there we go. So talking about Bucky, the second part, the second
The second scene,
After credit.
the second
yeah, after
scene.
credit is that we
So
finally see Bucky.
Right. So that's what I was kind of waiting
with
for.
And-
with some very lovely long flowing locks. By the
Okay,
way.
so
yes.
And we heard
These
him,
shits are
the
amazing.
people of the
Of
on
the
the
Wakandan people.
village or whatever they are, they call him
White Wolf.
White Wolf.
okay, so
You guys think
no,
he's gonna be
Sorry.
because there's a character in Marvel comics called the White Wolf.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
heard about this.
okay,
So,
so we
do
did
you
a
guys-
little bit of research
Yes.
on it. So
I already kind of knew
Right.
who it was, but I didn't know a lot of info about
so apparently this character is called the Hunter,
it. Yes.
and he is the adoptive
Raven,
son.
the Hunter?
No, not the same. Not the same.
be
Hunter.
awesome.
He's the adopted son of T'Chaka
I heard that.
in the comics, and he he's trying to be he's a white guy, but he's trying to be the best Wakandan he can be
Right.
to
So he's
eventually
basically Iron Fist.
take the throne.
Yeah, he's basically Iron Fist, though. The white savior in the Chinese culture is the
guess.
white savior in the black culture. Got it.
But I mean, whatever. I don't know much more than that. But I guess maybe it's safe to assume that at some point he might take that position.
Okay, and in the comics he gets a white suit and
Right.
it
And
looks,
it looks exactly
exactly
like
like Black
the Black
Panther, only
Panther,
that
but
is
it's
in
white.
white.
So
Then
we're
again,
gonna have
okay,
Golden
so-
Jaguar,
So you have that
White Wolf, Wolf, my man,
Está bien.
your boy in the wolf coat. We'll tell that story later.
Maybe I guess he'll take that mantle at some
But here's
Yes.
the thing, though.
And not Captain America. Then
Yeah.
maybe Falcon becomes Captain America.
Right, that's what I was gonna go.
Right.
We're in a position where everybody's trying to wonder who's gonna inherit
Captain.
certain role.
Caps.
Not Cap, Iron Man, possibly Thor. Even though I don't think Chris Hemsworth's
Yeah.
going anywhere
But this
anytime
is
soon.
Well,
this is
they-
something.
there's a
this is
rumor
something that we
he
could
might sign
speculate,
for.
and we kind of could get it because we know some contracts are gonna go,
Right.
There's a
and
rumor.
and because the characters are so these artists are so expensive to pay, so they're gonna have to let them go at some
Expensive
point.
to pay my ass, man. These motherfuckers are making so much goddamn money,
No,
man.
you know how
Fuck
much
that
Robert
shit.
Yes.
Downey Jr. getting paid. But not only that.
But they barely.
Yeah, and
It's like-
royalties alone.
But
man.
don't get
He's
me
gotta
wrong.
make
No, it's
ridiculous amount of
residuals,
money.
yeah. But don't get me wrong. Like you're saying, how long can you keep them going for? You have to change the storyline.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have
That
to.
is that he just. I'm sorry. By
have to.
Civil War, Robert Downey Jr. looked
Just
out of
looks,
place.
yeah. He just look. He's
He
just.
looks too old. He's just not a believable Iron Man anymore because you're old as
think?
fuck. Yeah.
I
dude.
read somewhere
Watch
that
Civil
they.
War again. He looks old as fuck. fuck?
I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, I would have never thought that.
I read somewhere that Hemsworth is due for a Thor 4.
Well, either
Yeah.
way, I mean, we were speculating that maybe Valkyrie, the girl that played Valkyrie, might eventually become the female Thor.
Yes.
Oh, as long as
And
it's
then-
not Jane Foster, I'm good.
No, what's her name?
Oh my God, the storyline.
Thompson.
Tessa Thompson.
The storyline in the comic books
I
of
love
the
her.
Mighty Thor, and they're doing the Death
love
of
Tessa.
Mighty Thor, which is the Jane Foster, is so good.
Yeah?
If you haven't been reading
Well-
it, go read the.
I
Mighty Thor.
didn't like that premise
It's
because
so good.
Of her becoming a female?
no, I didn't
No,
consider
of
she's
Jane-
a female.
of
I just,
Jane
it was
becoming
Jane
the Thor.
Foster specifically.
Right.
Like because especially because they had introduced the Angela character recently, so I was like, whoa.
Like you thought Angela might be her?
To me, that seemed like a natural transition.
Right.
She's already got superpowers. She's whatever. She's Asgardian.
Right.
No, let's give it to this chick. Why?
Whatever. I mean, but the point is that we were
Potato,
speculating that
potato.
again the roles are
Like,
going to
who's
transition.
addicted juice fuck to become worthy of the hammer?
Okay, but regardless, the roles are going to transition.
gloss right over that. Was awesome.
Yeah, he's-
The roles are
Didn't
going to
even hear.
transition at some point. So we were saying, okay, so Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie may, or people are speculating that maybe she'll become Thor. Like I said, we were saying that maybe Shuri will become the next Iron Man or something like that. So at some point it's going to have to. Maybe the Winter Soldier will become Captain America, or Falcon
Falcon.
might become Captain America, like he did
Question
in the
is,
comics. So
when does
they're
this
going to
all
have to
end?
transition.
When does this all? Like how far?
It doesn't
how much
have to.
I
farther
don't think
do
they
it
don't
doesn't
have
have
to.
to.
It
That's
doesn't have
beautiful,
to.
man.
It's like the comics. It doesn't
That's
have
beautiful, dude.
Because after all this shit is said and done,
to. They can redo it all over again.
not only
Yes.
you don't have to redo it. You gonna have that pan out
With,
to Xavier
to the Xavier
against
School.
the youngsters, and you start with men.
Still on that.
Talking
And
of-
you have
Okay,
a
I'm gonna
zillion
say
still just
something
don't
about
know.
it because
don't
this
know how
is
they
something
can
that I read,
transition, man.
and there's a couple of sites that I read this on Reddit too. That they're thinking the new Avengers, because a lot of these people
This is
are
the new
retiring a little bit. Some of the actors. So the new Avengers who are they're gonna replace the ones that we have already. So they were saying Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
You think they're gonna be able to
Black
use
Panther.
Spider-Man as a full-time Avenger,
Yeah,
even though
Black
they don't have the
Panther.
rights, the full rights?
Yeah, I
Do you
think.
think? Do you think Doctor Strange will be an Avenger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think,
man.
man.
I think he
Can
will.
I just?
Yes.
If I was dream fantasy booking this, as they say in wrestling, I would send Benedict Cumberbatch down to the Netflix and put him on the Defenders. I think he'd be
That would be
amazing
crazy.
in that universe.
Yes.
Because if you watch him as Sherlock, he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
He'd fit perfect. Like, get rid of
Didn't he play
Iron
Doctor
Fist.
Who?
Puto ass Iron Fist.
Didn't he play
Yeah,
Doctor
put-
Who too?
Yeah, but I never
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying.
No. Sherlock, not Doctor Who. I never watched it. I never watched the show with the super scary salt shaker
Oh,
of
sorry.
death. Like, that's what he looks like, right? The what is it called? The Daleks, whatever. Okay, he looks like a super scary salt shaker. That's what he looks like. Anyway, I think he'd be perfect in that. I think
Yes.
he'd be, and then make the Defenders because he was a Defender, right? And then,
But then you got to get the Silver Surfer and Hulk in there too, man.
well, but there's been a lot of incarnations of Defenders. What I'm saying is, like, work with me here. So you have
Namor.
Daredevil. No, hold on. You have Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones,
I have something I wanted to bring up.
Doctor Strange, and for my boy Raul,
Ghost Rider.
True that.
and now you got a legit ass Defenders.
Yeah.
Namor, I've heard a lot of people since we were talking about where this is gonna go. That everybody, and I was telling Half earlier, I was like, the Nerdos guys always laugh at me
I
because
would
I'm always talking about
love
Namor. If
to see
Namor
it.
was the main bad guy in Black Panther 2, because they have this huge rivalry in the comics.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, Namor floods fucking Wakanda.
Really?
In AVX,
It's awesome.
AVX when he's like in the Phoenix shit,
Uh-huh.
he fucking just.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Namor,
Destroys
bring Namor
Wakanda.
character to this universe will be badass.
But that's one of those that Namor was owned by Fox also, right?
No, Namor is owned randomly enough by Universal.
Really?
Yeah, which that contract must be really weird because most of these contracts, like the Fox
I
ones,
wanna-
was if they didn't use a character for 7 years, the rights automatically revert to Marvel.
Gotcha.
Yes.
These people have never used Namor.
Right.
And
these guys still can't get the rights
But
back.
they may at some point decide to do it just to use it because they don't have
something that I wanted to say, something that I wanted to ask all of you is, okay, I want you to guys give me one movie or one character that you would like to see in a movie solo that they haven't done. We haven't even mentioned or anything. So Marvel would do.
Damn.
So not including Namor.
Oh, well, include Namor if you want to.
We already talked about that. So let me think of somebody.
That has
Including
not
people
been done.
now within the MCU universe, or
Whichever you have in mind that they haven't even mentioned.
Okay,
that
but
well,
the
I
question
mean,
is-
there's already one coming up that I've wanted to see,
Who?
and because I love bitches, is Black Widow. They're
Oh.
supposed to be doing a black.
Okay.
They apparently Chris Evans.
They've
supposed to
greenlit
be-
it.
Right, they greenlit it, and it's supposed to be, I think, after Home.
Something that we haven't heard of the characters that we are here. Who do you think?
I mean, I know that this is not mine.
Does it have to be a hero, or can it be a villain? Because I
Anything.
mean, then again, they haven't done villain movies.
Yes, they haven't done villain movies.
I know a popular
maybe
choice is
movie.
Moon Knight. I never read Moon Knight, so
Yeah.
Well, aren't they doing Moon Knight in that?
no.
No.
There's
Oh no,
been
Moon Knight.
announcement.
Excuse me, Cloak and Dagger. Sorry.
You know which one
I love Moon
I
Knight.
think it will be great because of the whole this female movement that they have is a She-Hulk.
Oh,
And I think
Yeah.
a She-Hulk
Well, I
movie
think
will be
I think once they write off Hulk,
badass.
I think once they write off Hulk, they'll bring her in.
I think
well, I don't know
but
because
isn't that in the
in one of the
same
MCU movies, they mentioned it's very passing. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I have to go back and look. But they very passingly mentioned Amadeus Cho. They name drop him in one of the
really?
MCU, and in the comics,
that?
he
He
becomes
He's
becomes
a
the
new Hulk.
He becomes
he's
the
this
new
like
Hulk.
super genius Korean kid, and
Yeah.
he becomes the new Hulk.
Okay, no, hang on. What the?
Apparently,
fuck
he sucks in the
happened?
comics, but whatever. That's
What happened to
Yeah.
the leader, man?
what leader?
the
leader
guy from the Hulk.
in the Incredible Hulk.
What happened to the leader?
Fuck, dude, you got me good, man. Give me.
Yeah.
No, but what I say-
You know
what
what?
I-
Let's leave that for the next talk. We should really like think about.
Yeah,
this.
but let me finish on my
Because-
thought on She-Hulk. I think if they bring her and they do the character well, because she has a lot of problems psychologically, because and there's acceptance too because of the monster that she thinks she is and things like that. If they do her really good, I think it's gonna be a
Well,
great,
my
great
favorite
movie.
run of She-Hulk was when she was like full blown, like she's the lawyer for the
Yes.
superheroes, and she's chilling.
And you know
she's
what?
balancing her day life with
And you
her
know what?
superhero life.
They could bring her on, and they could bring X-Men too, because she is kind of a lot of the times in the comic books she appears in the X-Men too, with Henry McCoy doing the law
Well,
part.
the
and
issue
things
with
like
her
that.
is also like the same issue with Hulk is that it's owned by Universal right now, right? Where I would say I would think it's the same
rights all
thing.
universal.
So they'd have the same problems, just like they can't really do a standalone Hulk movie. They can't do the same with She-Hulk. So
I don't know, man.
I'd
I'm
like
not
to
sure.
see.
I'd have to think
honestly,
about
To me, right now, top of my head is Namor, but I can't.
Yeah,
for,
I'd have
for
to
me
think about
into
this.
the MCU, I gotta go with Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
I have
yes.
to go with him. I'm sitting here thinking, looking at villains, looking at
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Yeah,
Robert
like the
Redford.
Yeah, I
original.
think-
you know what?
He would be
Raul would say
amazing
Danny
to bring.
Ketch.
I don't know who Danny Ketch is.
He's in between. He came after Johnny
After
Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
He's probably the more popular one, I would say.
He would probably be my favorite
really?
character.
Yeah.
I
know what I'm
never heard
thinking
of any until Agents of Shield. The only Johnny Blaze the only Ghost Rider I ever heard of was Johnny Blaze.
Because he was the original.
Especially because Method Man had that Johnny Blaze.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but he was
That
the
was-
original. But that was because he was the original.
But yeah,
Ketch-
you know
bringing
what I'm thinking
a
of?
Ghost Rider to this universe will be badass.
I'm trying to think of Marvel Alliance. You remember that game? You guys
Yeah.
remember that game? So I'm trying to think of the characters that were in that, along with the Avengers, that they could bring into the MCU. And out of every character that I played in that game, and I want to go back, that game is
Wonder
amazing.
Man.
So,
Wonder Man.
interestingly enough,
Captain
I mean,
Marvel?
you guys remember he was supposed to
Captain
be
Marvel's
in it.
coming. Yeah, she's
What's that?
coming in. And
He was supposed to be in Guardians
Who?
or an event or
Wonder Man.
Really?
Yeah, but Nathan Fillion was supposed to play him, and they cut him.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
All right.
Nathan Fillion was
So-
Should we wrap it up?
Yes. Why don't you
It's time
guys
for
say
the-
your
It's time for the ratings, the rankings.
Oh,
excuse
the
me.
rankings? So these people have
The
the
rankings.
rankings,
You don't have
of
yours?
all of them. I don't have mine.
No,
So
Jose has all
ranked,
of them.
We ranked, well, these guys ranked 1 through 10 in their
We did a top
MCU
10.
movies. I ranked all of mine, but I'll go through 1
Jesus
through 10. Anyway,
Top 10.
No, dude, spit
hit 'em
spit
up.
bullshit over here.
All of them?
Wait. I want one more thing before we got to this.
Yes. Go
Because this is the close off. Okay. So who has been the worst MCU villain so far? Ultron, Yellow Jacket, Crossbones. What's his?
Yeah, but they were B-list villains.
Baron Mordo.
No, Baron Mordo's not him. This guy.
I would
the
look.
dude from Doctor Strange.
Name off the major villains, because the B-list villains I don't think really count.
Sure.
No, it doesn't matter. If they're the main villain in their movie, they're the main villain in their movie.
That is
Yeah, but
true.
Mordo wasn't the main villain in the movie.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Mordo. To whatever the hell's his name is. This guy. That's not Mordo.
God,
I forgot his name.
Ego. The evil guy
Ego.
from back Doctor
100%.
Strange. Ego, he was worse. Yeah, he might have
Ego,
been worse.
Yellow Jacket,
Vulture,
and
Hela, Black Jaguar.
Oh, yo.
Ultron, I thought was
Thanos.
underused. Ultron could have done so much.
Ultron should have been the next big bad after Thanos.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He
Potentially.
would have stopped the whole world.
Yes.
I don't
If he
know.
had complete access to the internet. He would
We
have stopped
we
the
haven't
whole
seen the
world.
Ghost. Not Killmonger. Ironmonger. Abomination. Whiplash.
Oh, you mentioned was the worst.
No.
What's the big metal dude from Thor? The Destroyer.
Doom.
Red
but
Skull.
that's-
Loki, my favorite. Whack ass Mandarin. The fake Mandarin.
Oh, hated that guy.
The elf dude. What was his name?
Killian.
Killian.
Hated that guy too.
Winter Soldier might be my second favorite dude.
He was great, man.
And your boy.
Ronan.
Ronan.
God, these people have some shitty ass villains, dude.
They have.
I just think.
I thought Yellow Jacket was cool. I didn't mind him.
I'm just not crazy about that actor.
Crossbone was.
Oh no, I like him.
I
Didn't
gotta
even
go with
have-
Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron.
Crossbones
I just think
was too
Ultron could have
short.
been so much
Yes.
better.
Ultron could have been better.
Yes.
I'm sorry if when you close your eyes and think about the movie that they're in.
Ego was the worst.
Ronan.
was-
I hated Ego.
No,
Ronan.
no, I like the Ronan.
He
not-
was
Galactus.
mas puto as
Mas puto.
All right, so top 10.
Finally, top 10.
Go.
No,
Me?
you start
I'm
from
doing
the
all
bottom.
of them?
Yeah, because
You
you're the
ever-
one to start.
Do
Okay.
you never saw the Galactus in Fantastic Four? The fucking gas
That
thing.
shit, that was
Yeah,
awful.
well, but that was
God.
not part of the
And that was not MCU. That was not MCU.
All right, so for me, number one, Captain America Winter Soldier. Number
I can't argue with that, but yeah, number one, really?
yeah, that's my. You know what it is?
It is a good damn good.
It's a really good movie, and it's just very raw and very like I feel like it was the most realistic. I guess I would say. It was just very like the action was really good, and again, like this is where like I feel like there wasn't as much CG in it. It was more the actors doing their stuff. You know what I mean? Like them doing their thing.
Está bien.
So I just feel like it was the most raw one. I feel like it was the most hardcore.
The only problem with that movie was
Eli.
the appearance of George St. Pierre, who I hate passionately.
Yo, Saint
Ah,
Pierre.
man, he's fucking awesome.
Saint Pierre.
He's awesome.
I'm gonna kill you.
So okay,
You know
so
man
number
without the
one,
shield.
All right, let's just go through our top five. Number one, Cap Winter Soldier. My number two would be the Avengers because they brought everybody together.
Damn, I have that.
Number three, Homecoming because I love Spider Man.
Because you're a homer.
Number four, I have Civil War,
Beautiful.
and number five, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number one. So
Wait, what? Number five, number one? What?
Guardians of the Galaxy 1
That's number
Oh,
five.
as my number five.
well, only top
that's
five.
one.
All right, fine. So
Go through number five. Go through five.
I'll go from backwards. I got Winter Soldier at five.
Okay.
As much as I love that one, I like Ragnarok better than Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then Black Panther, Iron Man.
Nice.
Gotta go with that.
I like that.
Ray?
So my number five fluctuates depending on my mood.
Some days it's Thor Ragnarok, some days it's Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Okay.
On this particular day, it's Guardians of the Galaxy
They're
1.
both very similar.
Last time we recorded it was Thor Ragnarok, but this week is Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
4 is Avengers 1. I agree, just because they proved that the formula works with that movie.
Right.
You know, the way they handled giving everybody equal screen time by you doing a twist where this guy got possessed and he was the bad guy or whatever for a little while. It was amazing.
I have Avengers at 10. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I like
that's
some
way
of the other
down
ones
there.
better.
I got Black Panther 3.
Okay.
I got Winter Soldier 2. You
Yes.
You and me are on the same page. I love
Winter
that.
Soldier was fantastic,
I love
man.
that movie.
And then Iron Man 1.
The original.
I watched it the other night. Let me see. It was like
I have Iron Man 1 at my number 7.
Dude, I couldn't sleep the other night, and I just decided to watch it again.
Dude, it's been 10
I mean,
years.
it was good.
and that
It
movie
was very
holds up.
good. Yeah, it was very
Perfect.
good. Don't get me wrong, but I just
Dude,
feel like
the line when she's like, "Oh, so you're the famous Pepper Potts and you da 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 da." Yes, I do anything Mr. Stark needs,
Including taking his
including
trash out.
occasionally taking out the trash.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's great.
I hate fucking Gwyneth Paltrow almost as much as I hate George St. Pierre.
I like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Just some people.
But dude, she killed it in that movie. Killed it in that movie. And I don't know. The as far as origins go, it's probably outside of Batman
it was great.
Begins,
It was
the
great.
best origin movie
It was
I've
a good
seen.
movie.
Yes.
Well, see, like, and again, not to hate on it, but Black Panther doesn't break my top 5, man.
All right, let's do,
It
let's
breaks
do
my-
your,
breaks
let's
my
do your
top
bottom
10.
five.
My
Wait,
bottom 5?
yeah.
Well, not your
Bottom-
bottom five, but I'm saying the bottom 5 of your top 10.
Okay, so number 6, I have Ragnarok.
Okay.
And then 7, I have Iron Man. And then 8, I have Black Panther.
Que come mierda.
Hey, Black Panther.
9.
9, I have Doctor Strange.
Spider-Man doesn't crack my top
And
5.
10, Captain America.
Captain America 1?
Yeah.
The first Avenger?
The first Avenger.
I don't even have that in my top 10. I like that one, but I don't have it in my
I don't like it at all.
Mine are Doctor Strange 6, Homecoming 7, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 8, Thor, and then Avengers.
Guardians of the
I like
Galaxy
Thor
is
better
way
than
low on
Avengers.
yours.
Yeah, it
You like
is.
Thor better than Captain America?
I like Thor better. Yeah, I do.
Out of that first round of origin movies, Captain America was my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Red Skull and the whole sequence with the army and the
It was funny.
no,
It was.
it was funny.
No. You thought the Mandarin was funny. That was funny.
It was
Eat a
funny.
dick.
It was funny for like 5 minutes, but when it ran to like 15
When they
minutes of
brought
that
him
montage,
into that freaking
dude, but they
tight
hit, that
section was-
montage was
that's where it
super
came-
long.
No, but that's where it came from, and it was very
I didn't mind
nostalgic. It was
The fact that
good.
they
I liked it.
destroyed the Mandarin because they didn't want to bring magic into that early into
Yeah,
the
that was
MCU.
nice.
Even though,
I didn't agree
even
with
though
that-
I agree,
that premise
I feel
at all.
it. Even though they were gonna make Doctor Strange the first MCU movie, fucking motherfuckers, bro. 10 rings, bro. Come on.
I agree. I thought they blew it in that spot. I
God,
thought it was
dude, I was
funny,
so
but I
in
don't
which-
agree with
It
the
was
decision.
funny, but
Speaking of which, did you guys ever watch that little short film
okay. So
with the Mandarin?
yes. So in between,
Where they
okay,
make it,
this
where
clip.
they you haven't seen that
send it to
one?
you guys.
What movie was that?
Wait.
Okay, so my
No, it
bottom
wasn't a
five before
movie.
you
It
get my
wasn't a
bottom
movie. It was
half
like
of the
an
top 10.
It was like an internet clip because in between.
It's a short film.
Correct.
behind
Listen,
one of the movies.
because in between, I'm gonna send you guys the video of this guy that puts everything together. They show the different. There's like newscasts of this chick from what's her name? The news girl from Iron Man, the one he bangs at the beginning.
okay.
She does newscasts.
The chick from Brown.
Yes. So yes, Miss Brown. So they do newscasts on YouTube of her reporting what's going on in the MCU. So he puts all those things together, and like
There's still a Mandarin out there.
and like you're saying, they interview the guy that supposedly was impersonating the Mandarin or whatever.
I never seen this.
Yeah,
I forgot-
dude,
I forgot.
this video
It's
is
a short-
awesome.
It's a short film. I forget
I'm
what it
gonna
was,
show
but
it to
then the whole thing is about them talking to what's the actor's name? Man?
Ben Kingsley?
Ben Kingsley's character.
She does an interview
and
with
how
with
there's still really a Mandarin out there. Like it basically
Right.
undoes.
That shit.
there's
that crap. Yeah.
there's still or rather there's a clip of her
The King. I think it's called The King.
interviewing Scott Lang while he's in prison. You know, while
Oh,
he's
shit.
while he's in that bunker.
I gotta watch that,
Yeah.
man.
Here it is.
So my bottom 5 from the top, my bottom half of the top 10, since I'm in this mood, Thor is 6, Spider-Man is 7, Civil War is 8, Ant-Man is 9, and to throw
Ant-Man in the top 10. I like
and
it.
to throw a curveball here, I have Hulk at 10.
Oh, what the hell?
You don't even believe that shit.
he's like, I just felt like throwing it in there.
I'm
liked-
sorry.
I liked it.
Listen, I liked Edward
I
Norton.
like Ed Norton, exactly.
As Bruce Banner, number
Yes,
one.
agreed.
Liv Tyler, like that
She's
overbite.
hot mama. I love
Anyway,
it.
and here's the thing: out of all of the initial movies, if you really think about it,
it had the fastest pace by far. That movie went
bam, 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 right?
It
Yeah.
established several bad guys. It established
I like
Abomination.
Abomination.
It established Leader.
Yes,
right?
that was dropped off.
And it introduced General Ross,
General Ross.
who is the Secretary of State, who locked all these dudes up in that gulag in Civil War. So it really impacted the rest of the universe more than it's given credit for.
It's incredible how General Ross wasn't in Incredible Hulk until Civil War, and then there was 4 movies in between Civil War and Black Panther.
Okay, back to the whole Mandarin.
I like
thing.
the spacing out.
The name of the clip is called "All Hail the King," and it was an extra in Thor: The Dark World.
Yes,
Which was that's
there's
my
bonuses.
bottom. That is
Well,
my
anyway, if you look for
that
it,
and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 are my
if you look
bottoms.
for it, you can find it. And basically, the idea is that it
Guardians
undoes
2
that whole
was
garbage about the Mandarin not being
The Mandarin.
The Mandarin.
Right.
Got you.
Guardians 2 for me was horrific.
All right, so we took a little longer.
Yeah.
Well,
What do we have?
Black Panther deserved it.
Absolutely.
It's such
Well,
a great
we
movie.
got talking about
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Yes. So, guys, if you find us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, give a like to the video. Any shout outs?
Get notifications.
Yes, to get notifications every time
Turn
we
them
put a new video out there, so you guys notify and be the first one to know. You can find Ray, the Back of the Bus podcast, and his Instagram is
Back of the Bus podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
We're on most of the same platforms. We're not on YouTube yet. We're working on that.
Yeah.
I actually I talked to my boy Alonzo here about that. But we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Pocket Cast, Podbean.
yes.
We're working on getting on Stitcher. We're talking about that.
The hell's that?
We recorded actually an episode today, so I should have the edits done.
Yes.
So
If
it
you
should be up by Monday.
if you guys are into podcasts, try to listen to them too.
Also, we're working on a project that we're probably going to start on next week. It's going to be running somehow. We're going to run it through all our Instagram pages. We're going to do a 1 through 64 March Madness style bracket of hot girls on Instagram. And
You guys don't follow, but it's okay.
And we got 4 brackets.
We'll keep you guys posted on that.
We're going to have the porn star bracket, the fitness girl bracket,
Famous IG bracket.
the only famous is an Instagram bracket, and then what was the 4th one? Are we gonna do the diaper dandies, the under 21, or we're gonna do
18 and 21? Sure.
So
Yes.
we're gonna
Either that or
if you guys are into that, yes,
Either
you
that
can
or
follow
alien
that.
girls, alien bitches.
Guillermo has his Instagram in Most Life.
Most
You
Life,
can-
07.
yes, you can
Life
find
with a Y.
Yes,
Got him.
You can find Jose too.
Super Muay Thai brothers.
Yes, if you like into fighting.
If you like
Yes.
clips of
Yes.
dudes.
And
hitting
follow
pads.
us. We are in Facebook, Instagram. We have in Podbean and iTunes, Nerdos. Look at us, and we're out. Thank you
Peace out.
for listening. Bye.
Be easy.